Hello and welcome to the Boomer podcast. Today we are to talk about Liverpool FC. We're going to be talking about Jurgen Klopp's impact on this club as well. I'm joined by two passionate Liverpool fans, Ishan and John. Welcome both of you to the show.
So
Hey guys,
guys,
what's up?
Yeah, Ishan, I'll come to you first up. Let's talk about Jurgen Klopp, the figure, isn't it? Because he's had massive impact on this team, not just in the way of football they play, but in success as well. Would you rate him as one of the greatest ever Liverpool managers, or if not,
hands
the
down,
greatest?
hands down. Yes, the greatest Liverpool manager ever, definitely. I think Liverpool for the longest time was a club that was jinxed, and there was only one man who could turn that around. We went through a cycle of managers just like United is right now, right? And yeah, doubters, believers, achievers. The biggest impact I would say he's brought about is that he's turned Liverpool from a selling club to a destination club. Every player, every top player wants to play for Jurgen Klopp today. And yeah, an amazing transfer and scouting philosophy that's put us in the same league as City and left the rest of the league behind. So the greatest Liverpool manager ever. Yeah.
Really, that's a good answer. I'll come to you, John. We've been talking about Jurgen Klopp, right? Alongside him, he's got two competitors, and people do compare Jurgen Klopp with Tuchel and Pep. Now, given the success of third UCL final in 5 years' time, he's had a good European success as well. And if you talk with certain experts, he's just won two UCLs. Would you rate Jurgen Klopp slightly ahead of Pep and Tuchel at this very point?
I mean, definitely, man. Like with the way he's brought the club forward throughout these years, like throughout these 7, 8 years, it's been phenomenal. I mean, even though the way that City are set up, they already have the funds, the financial power to like they can buy the whole team that we had in one season and probably like try to win the Champions League. But it wasn't the same type of philosophy with Liverpool, and Jurgen Klopp managed those funds like brilliantly. And like every season, he bought an impact player, and that impact player has provided like in leaps and bounds. Like he's come such a long way, and they have had like this togetherness, like which Jurgen Klopp has brought within the team. So definitely, he's way ahead of them, I feel.
Right, right. Now, let's talk about Liverpool, isn't it? Because this season isn't all about whether Liverpool can achieve that. And now, yesterday, with City also getting over Wolves, and now they've got 3 points lead, not just that, and also with goal difference on their way ahead. Do you reckon the Liverpool hopes are finally over, or do you still fancy the chances there? Coming to chance, please.
I mean, it's heartbreak in the Prem is what it would seem. But Jurgen Klopp said we should not act like it's a funeral. It ain't over until the fat lady sings. It looks hard. City historically do not drop points in the league, right? But I'm still optimistic. West Ham and Aston Villa are two difficult games for City, and Laporte seems to be out. And if he is, their defense seems to crumble every time that happens, and they already
Right.
have a lot of pressures mounting. So if they lose the game against West Ham, that's a lot of pressure on final day. So yeah, though Jurgen Klopp said it's impossible to do it. Nobody's done it. There's a reason that nobody's done it. It's great that we're even in the conversation that we could be the team that's going to do it. So yeah, man, like we'll go again next time if it doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but the eyes will be on that final in Paris, right? John, coming to you, in 2018 it was a heartbreak for Liverpool because Mohamed Salah, had to substitute it off after that injury. Now, as we speak, Madrid, they've not been playing the most attractive brand of football, but they've got this momentum they're riding upon, isn't it? They're the champions of Spain currently, and that Champions League semi-final, that was a huge win as well. How would you rate Liverpool's chances now going into that final in Paris against a good Madrid side who are riding high on momentum?
I mean, it's going to be a very tough and competitive game for sure. I mean, Liverpool have been playing well throughout the season, and Real Madrid as well. I mean, I don't watch their games a lot. Like, I do follow La Liga as well, but I don't watch their games. But in the Champions League, like, they have that fighting spirit, which is like really good within the team, and they have like a great coach as well in Carlo Ancelotti, who gives them that fighting spirit as well. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game for sure, but I'm going to be optimistic for my team, of course. Like Liverpool, man, like you never count us out of it. Like even against Villarreal in the first half, we had such a bad performance, and in the second half, they got the hair dryer treatment, man. Like he just gave it to them, and like in the second half they came out all guns blazing. So hoping to see a lot of that in the final, and I hope it's just a very good game and it's not based on just like goalkeeping errors and like injuries like the last time. So yeah, I'm hoping it's a competitive game.
Right. Ishan, coming to you because 2018 squad was so much likely like this same squad, but would you give this squad a slight edge? Because now, if you look, Trent has come of age. You have Robertson was in his prime. You have a Salah in great form as well. I mean, back then he was. Now you have Luis Diaz. He's in top form. Would you rate this squad slightly ahead of that 2018 squad, or do you still believe the 2018-2019 squad was the best?
Yes, I would. I would. Like you said, Luis Diaz in great form. Just on two factors that squad depth is like way better than it was last time. As John said, we've definitely got a better keeper. I believe that's what lost us the game. And yeah, the mentality monsters are out there for redemption, man. You never discount Liverpool in Europe. And I
Yeah.
think it was Ancelotti who said last time that not a single Liverpool player gets into his best 11 in combined 11 in 2018. But it's very different this time. The same players, more or less, but very different in terms of experience and exposure on the top level. So
Right.
yeah, it's going to be an amazing game, and both teams never seem to be beaten. So yeah, mentality monsters could make the difference. Yeah,
Right. John,
yeah.
coming to you because you have an FA Cup final. You're just a few days away from it before the UCL final. Of course, it will be a good preparation for the UCL final because you're going to be up against Tuchel, who is a master of the finals, especially in cup finals. He has got a great record. How do you fancy Liverpool's chances in that final? Because you know that you will be up against a strong Chelsea side who is determined to win something from the season.
I mean, I'm hoping that as well is going to be a good game and we have a celebratory thing in the end. But I mean, definitely, we are going to like set out a good team to face Chelsea in the final. And recently, Chelsea have been in really good form. Lukaku has been scoring goals out of the blue, and Mount has been performing really well. He has been good throughout the season, no doubt. But yeah, and like even in the one of the semifinals, I think, or the finals of the Carling Cup, I guess. Chelsea gave like a really good fight to Liverpool, man. Like it was so end to end, and like Chelsea actually almost caught Liverpool out like three times, like, and it was like close margins of offside. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game, and yeah, definitely if we win that game, it's going to give like instill a good feeling within the squad. And like the only unfortunate thing to happen is that Fabinho won't be playing that game because he's injured. So
Yeah.
that's going to be like really hard for Liverpool. But like Ishan said as well, we have squad depth, man. Like if we don't take out this game with Chelsea, I mean, then we have to look at ourselves and think that like sometimes players do get injured, so we have to grind out the
Right.
result. So yeah, definitely that's going to be a big test for Liverpool. But yeah, I hope we win. Definitely.
Right. Ishan, I'll come to you now because one player who Liverpool fans have adopted and they've been absolutely loving his performance has been Thiago Alcantara because he's been putting in so week in and week out, whether it's Prem in the Champions League. You've seen him with Bayern, you've seen him with Barcelona in the early days, and he's just continuing that with Liverpool as well. How impactful has he been, especially this season for you guys?
I think another masterclass signing by Klopp. Because if you looked at all the midfield that we had before Thiago, they were all a very it was a very functional midfield. Even with Ginny, they were all functionally amazing players. It was heavy metal, so of course gegenpress. You need your midfield to have to win those second balls, win those interceptions, press high. Like high precision football. But Thiago's really brought a lot of a new dimension, I believe. Because he's that technical player in that functional midfield with those Cobra Kai passes that we've seen in the last few games. And even if you remember the game against Villa that just went by last weekend, we were in a tight spot. We were in a tight spot. Coutinho was out for redemption, and as soon as you added Henderson and Thiago to that midfield, we just had control over the game. So I guess that tells us, the impact that he's had and
Yeah.
the dimension that he adds that we kind of lacked, in the last few seasons. And that's probably why we see with that depth and with that new dimension that Liverpool's in the conversation for a quadruple. I don't see that happening without that. So yeah, great signing, masterclass by club. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Before I end the podcast, I'll come to you both for one question. It is that in the last 7 years since Jurgen Klopp took over the helm as the manager, who do you reckon has been the best signing? Because I know it's a tough one to take because you've had Salah, you've had Mane, you've had even Van Dijk. John, I'll come to you, then I'll come to Sean for the same question.
Uh, it's tough, man, really. But like honestly, for Liverpool to come so far and come so long, like with the way we have and won like these few trophies that we have in the past 4 5 years, I think it's got to be Van Dijk for me because he's the spine at the back, and like whenever he's there in the team, I'm just like, you know what, Liverpool might concede one, but not more than one.
Right.
He's like so sure at the back. And even though like there's a fast player, it seems like he's walking, but somehow he just gets there and and he retains the ball. I mean, he's just phenomenal, man. Like for me, it's Van Dijk. He's a brick wall for Liverpool, and definitely it's Van Dijk for me.
I'm sure Manchester United fans might be hurting because Manchester United had a chance to sign him and Mourinho rejected him and went for Lindelof. So they'll be really hurting, as if he put in some terrific performance over the last 4 seasons. Ishan, coming to you with the same question, I'm going to put you also on the spot as well here.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. As John said, like Van Dijk's, of course, a Rolls Royce of a player. I would definitely not argue with that pick. It looks like Owen Hargreaves said this. I remember that it looks like he can play with a cigar on the pitch. He's that good. He's really good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But for me, there's just one king, man. The king on the wing, Mo Salah. Because just pure numbers. I mean, because I take John's point. Before, we've always had great strikers. It's always been defense that has, brought Liverpool down. And Van Dijk just changed that. One player changed the whole sort of, history of failing. But no, Mo Salah, his numbers in the Prem are better than Cristiano Ronaldo. Beat that, like before he joined Real Madrid. And he's broken the record for the most goals in a single Premier League season.
Right.
And that's crazy. So I feel that he's been on this level for 3 4 years now, undoubtedly in the conversation for one of the best in the world. And yeah, who knows where he goes from here. So Mo Salah for me. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm saying thank you both for joining the podcast. It was a great time interacting with you about Liverpool. I'm sure that they've got some great times ahead as well. This month is going to be pretty special for all of you fans and also for Liverpool as a club for sure. Thank you all. And of course, guys, play our fantasy contest with Boomer11 because it's totally free to play and if you win prizes, absolutely playing the Champions League final, the Premier League, and much more. And it's also the cricket season, so do miss out on that. And do show some love to this video, like, share, and also subscribe to our channel so we can bring more of these content for you guys. Stay safe and take care of you. Bye bye.
Thanks, Abel. Bye,
Bye
guys.
bye.